Hello friends, we have already seen the graphical method to solve LPP. In the previous lecture, we have also seen the standard form of LPP. Today, we are going to see the second method to solve LPP, that is algebraic method to solve linear programming problem. The first step to solve any LPP by algebraic method, we have to express the LPP in equation form, that is in standard form. Let us assume that in standard form we get m number of equations and n number of variables. Then we assign n minus m variables equal to 0 value. These n minus m variables which we assign to be equal to 0 are known as non-basic variables. And the remaining m equations, then we solve remaining m equations in m variables. These m variables are known as basic variables, and the solution obtained by this is basic solution. The number of basic solutions is equal to NCM, that is n factorial upon m factorial into n minus m factorial. For example, suppose we want to find one basic feasible solution. Maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2 subject to constraints x1 plus x2 less than or is equal to 9 and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. Because we want basic feasible solution, we write down this constraint in equation form. In equation form, this constraint become x1 plus x2 plus s1 equal to 9. As this is less than or equal to constraint, we add slack variable s1 where s1 is also greater than or equal to 0. So we have x1, x2 and s1 all greater than or equal to 0. Now we have three variables and only one equation. So m, that is number of equations, is equal to 1 and n, that is number of variables, equal to 3. So assign n minus m, that is 3 minus 1, that is 2 variables, 0 value. So let us put x2 is equal to s1 equal to 0 value. These which we assign 0 value are known as non-basic variables. They do not appear in our solution. Once we substitute these values x2 and x1 is equal to 0 in this equation, we get x1 equal to 9. Substituting x2 is equal to s1 equal to 0 here, we get x1 is equal to 9. So what is our basic feasible solution? It is x1, x2 is equal to x1 comes to be 9 and x2 comes to be 0. So basic feasible solution comes to be 9, 0. Why this is feasible solution? Feasible solution means it must satisfy all the constraints together with non-negativity constraint. So observe that it satisfies all the constraints together with non-negativity, means that it is basic feasible solution. Now consider one more example. Find two basic feasible solutions to the following equations. x1 plus x2 plus x4 plus x5 equal to 2 and x1 plus x3 plus x5 equal to 6. Now these are already given to be equations. So the number of equations we denote it by m is equal to 2 and we denote the number of variables by n. The number of variables are 5, x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. So number of variables is 5. So put n minus m, that is 5 minus 2, that is 3 variables equal to 0. Now we get total number of solutions to be NCM, basic solutions, that is 5C2. Among these basic solutions, not all solutions are feasible, because feasible solution means it should satisfy non-negativity condition, that is all the variables should be greater than or equal to 0. So if you take any 3 variables equal to 0, it's not possible to get basic feasible solution. So you have to think carefully. If you observe these equations and if you suppose that we are putting x1 equal to x3 equal to 0, we will get the value of x5 is equal to 6. It is a bigger value than this and therefore we will get negative solution if you substitute. I will only show you how we think here. See, if you put x1 and x1 and x3 is equal to 0, I am only showing you that how you are going to think. If you put x1 and x3 is equal to 0, what you get? You will get x5 is equal to 6. We are assigning 3 variables 0. So among one we will take any one. Suppose I will take x1 also equal to 0. I get x5 is equal to 6. And if you put here x5 is equal to 6, we will get x4 is equal to 2 minus x5, that is minus 4. So we get negative solution which is not allowed, and therefore while finding feasible solution, be careful that we don't require negative values. So you must think that because this constant is greater than this, if you assign 2 variables equal to 0, it will always gives us negative solution. So we are not doing this, remember. So what I will do, I will put x1 equal to 0 and other 2 variables from this equation 0, so that I will get the feasible solution. So this is our main thinking here. So what I will do is to obtain the first basic feasible solution, I will put one of the variable equal to 0. So I will put x1 equal to 0 from this, and then from above equation any other 2. Suppose I will put x2 equal to x4 equal to 0. So I am substituting 3 variables equal to 0, but note that from second equation I am taking only 1. So I will put x1 equal to x2 equal to. If you put these values in this equation, what is the remaining equation? The remaining equation is, because we are putting x1, x2, x4 equal to 0, we get x5 is equal to 2, and the second equation gives x3 plus x5 is equal to 6. Solve these two equations. By putting x5 is equal to 2 here, we get x3 plus 2 is equal to 6, that is x3 is equal to 4. So we get the solution x3 is equal to 4 and x5 is equal to 2. So what is our first basic feasible solution? One of the basic feasible solution comes to be x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 is equal to x1 is 0, x2 is 0, x3 is 4, x4 is 0 and x5 is 2. So this is basic feasible solution, one solution. To obtain the second solution, what we will do? Put either x3 is 0 or x5 is equal to 0 from second equation and any two variables from first equation. So to get second, we will put, suppose x5 equal to 0 from second equation and then we will put x2 is equal to x4 equal to 0. So what we remains with? First equation gives us x1 plus, we are substituting x2, x4 and x5 is equal to 0. So we get x1 is equal to 2 and in the second equation we will get x1 plus x3 equal to 6. So solve the two equations. We have x1 equal to 2. So 2 plus x3 is equal to 6 implies x3 is equal to 4. So we get the solution x1 equal to 2 and x3 is equal to 4. So what is second basic feasible solution? The second basic feasible solution is x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 equal to x1 is 2, x2 0, x3 is 4, x4 0 and x5 0. So this is second basic feasible solution. Basic feasible solution means it should satisfy all the constraints together with non-negativity constraint. So this is our second basic feasible solution. This is the first basic. It should satisfy all the constraints simultaneously. Consider next example. Consider the LPP. Maximize z is equal to 2x1 plus 3x2 subject to the constraints x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 6, 3x1 plus 2x2 less than or is equal to 6 and x1, x2 greater than or equal to 0. Firstly, express the LPP in standard form. Then determine all basic solutions and classify them as feasible and infeasible. Use direct substitution method. In the objective function, to get optimal basic feasible solution. Then verify graphically the solution obtained in step 3 is correct and see how the infeasible solutions which are related with infeasible solutions. this LPP. To solve this LPP graphically, that we want to verify it. So we will firstly see how algebraically we will solve this system. For that, we have to write down this LPP in standard form or expression form. So the first is express the LPP in standard form. To express the LPP in standard form, because these are less or equal to constraint, we have to add slack variables in this. So our example becomes maximize z is equal to 2x1 plus 3x2 subject to the constraints x1 plus 3x2 plus s1 equal to 6. We add slack in first inequality to get it equality, and second 3x1 plus 2x2 plus s2 is equal to 6 with x1, x2, s1, s2 all greater than or equal to 0, and then we assign 0 coefficients in the objective function to this variable s1 and s2. So this is our standard form of LPP. Now to solve this algebraically, we will see how many number of equations are there. So m, that is number of equations, in this case is equal to 2. N, that is number of variables, and number of variables come to be 4, x1, x2, s1, s2. So we assign n minus m variables, that is 4 minus 2, that is we always put 2 variables equal to 0. These variables which are assigned 0 value are known as non-basic variables, and the remaining variables, that is m variables, are known as basic variables. Remaining m variables are known as basic variables. Now how many basic solutions are possible? The total number of basic solutions are NCM. Therefore, the total number of basic solutions is equal to NCM, that is 4C2 comes to be 6. So there are totally 6 basic solutions. We want to determine all those basic solutions and then classify them as feasible or infeasible solution. So let us start. So consider the table. Remaining m equations in m variables, then we get basic solution. Check whether that solution is feasible or not. Feasible means all variables should be greater than or equal to 0. Infeasible means all are not greater than or equal to 0. That is, then find the value of z. Z is nothing but 2x1 plus 3x2. And check whether it is optimal or not. So you are finding all these values. How many basic solutions are there? 4C2, that is there are 6 solutions are possible. So we will get 6 solutions. Now see the first one. So what we are doing? We are putting n minus n, 4 minus 2. 2 variables we are substituting to be 0. There are 4 variables, x1, x2, s1, s2, and we are substituting 2 variables equal to 0. So start with this. Suppose I will put x1 and x2 to be 0, x1 and s1 to be 0, x1 and x2 to be 0. Or I will put x2 and s1 to be 0, x2 and s2 to be 0, or lastly I will put s1 and s2 to be 0. So I will substitute these values equal to 0. By substituting this 0, whatever remains are other variable. When you put x1, x2, 0 remains, s1 and s2. x1, s1 remains, x2, s2. x2, s1. See the remaining variables, x1, s2. Here we have put x2 and s2, so remains x1 and s1. And here we get x1 and x2. Now by substituting these variables equal to 0, whatever the remaining m equations, we have 2 equations. Our first equation is x1 plus 3x2 plus s1 is equal to 6, and second equation is 3x1 plus 2x2 plus s2 is equal to 6. So what we are doing? We are substituting these variables equal to 0, and whatever remains we write down here, those equation, remaining equation. So put x1 and x2 equal to 0. If you put x1 and x2 is equal to 0, here remains s1 is equal to 6. Put x1, x2 0, we get s2 is equal to 6. So the basic solution, that is the value of x1, x2, s1, s2. If you have the values, if I write down the values of x1, x2, s1, s2 here, I get the solutions to be x1, x2, 0, 0 and s1, s2, 6, 6. This is the basic solution if I get all the 4 values of the variables. Now see the second case, x1, s1. So what we get? We are substituting x1 and s1 to be 0. So we get first equation as 3x1 is x2 is equal to 6, and when you substitute s1, x1 and s1, we remains with 2x2 plus s2 is equal to 6. Solve these 2 equations simultaneously. If you get 3x2 is equal to 6, we have x2 is equal to 2. Put x2 is equal to 2 here. So we get s2 is equal to 2. So x2 is also 2, s2 is also 2. So we get x2 2 and s2 2. So the next solution is, it becomes 0 2 0 2. Now see this. Put x1 and s2 0. We are substituting x1 and x2 0. So what we get? First equation. First equation remains 3x2 plus s1 equal to 6, and the second equation after substituting x1 and s2 equal to 0, second equation remains with 2x2 is equal to 6. So this gives us x2 is equal to 3. We get x2 is equal to 3. We are substituting x1 to be 0. Putting x2 is equal to 3, we get 9. S1 will be minus 3. So we get minus 3 and S2 is equal to 0. So we get the solution 3, 0, 3, minus 3, 0. Next, put x2 and s1 is equal to 0. If you put x2 and s1 is equal to 0, the first equation remains with x1 is equal to 6. Putting x2 equal to 0, second equation remains with 3x1 plus s2 is equal to 6. So put x1 is equal to 6 here. Putting x1 is equal to 6, it gets to be 18. 6 minus 18. So we get value of S2 where x1 6, x2 is 0. We are getting x1 S1 to be 0. Now see the value of S2. To obtain the value we are putting 6. We get 6, 18 and 6 minus 18, that is minus 12. So we are getting the solution like this. Now see the next one. What we have? We are substituting x2 and s2 equal to 0. x2 0, so the first equation remains with x1 plus s1 is equal to 6. Second equation, we are putting x2 and s2 to be 0, so remains with 3x1 is equal to 6. Because 3x1 is equal to 6, we have x1 is equal to 2. So we get x1 to be 2, we are x2 to be 0. Putting x1 is equal to 2, s1 comes to be 4 and s2 comes to be 0. We are substituting s2 to be 0. And the last one, we are putting x1, x2 is equal to 0. So if you put this, we get two equations. x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 6 and 3x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6. Solve these two equations simultaneously. We have x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 6 and 3x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6. We multiply this equation by 2 and this equation by 3 to get the answer. 2x1 plus 6x2 is equal to 12 and 9x1 plus 6x2 is equal to 18. Solve the equation simultaneously. This gets cancelled. Minus 7x1 is equal to minus 6. That is x1 is 6 by 7. Similarly, putting x1 is equal to 6 by 7 in this equation, find the value of x2. So 6 by 7 plus 3x2 is 6. So 3x2 is equal to 6 minus 6 by 7. That is 42 minus 6. That is 36 by 7. So second is 36 by 7. That is value of 3x2, and because 3x2 is equal to 36 by 7, x2 comes to be 12 by 7 and s1, s2 we are assuming to be 0. So we get all the solutions. These are 6 basic solutions which are feasible and which are infeasible. Now observe that all the values of the variable, if they are greater than or equal to 0, it becomes feasible solution. So which are feasible? The first one is feasible since all the values are greater than or equal to 0. Second one is feasible. All the values are greater than or equal to 0. This is not feasible because we get minus 3 solution and therefore values of the variable is minus 3. Denote that this solution is infeasible solution. See the next one. Again one of the variable has minus value. So this is also infeasible solution. What about next? Feasible, because all are greater than or equal to 0. And last one is also feasible solution. Now, while finding value of objective function, we only consider feasible solutions. We never think of infeasible solution. So, whenever the solution is infeasible, we are not finding the value of z in that case. In the first case, see the value of z. Z is 2x1 plus 3x2 and we are putting x1, x2 0. So in this case value of z to be 0 because our solution is x1, x2 is 0. Now see here, the next solution, we are putting x1 to be 0 and x2 to be 2 and therefore 3 into 2 becomes 6. This solution is 6. In this case, we are putting x1 is equal to 2 and therefore 2 into 2 solution becomes 4. And in the last case, we are putting x1 6 by 7 and x2 12 by 7. So we get 2 into 6 by 7, that is 12 by 7 plus 3 into 12, that is 36 by 7. The total answer comes to be 48 by 7 and therefore we get a value of z. Now among these values, we want to find which is optimum value. And which is optimum value? Can you observe here? See, here it is 6, 4, 0. This value comes to be 6 point, and therefore obviously this is optimal. So all these are not optimal values, only this value is optimal value because it is maximum value among all these 4 values. This is the maximum. So what is your last answer? The LPP answer comes to be maximize Z. It is nothing but 48 by 7 at the point x1 equal to 6 by 7 and x2 is equal to 12 by 7. So we get 6 basic solutions. These are the 6 basic solutions. Among the 6 basic solutions, we have 4 feasible and 2 infeasible because they have negative values. Those are infeasible solution, and among these feasible solutions we find the objective value which is greater because we want to maximize Z, and that comes to be at this point. So we get the answer that maximum Z is 48 by 7 at the point x1 is equal to 6 by 7 and x2 is equal to 12 by 7. So this is our algebraic method to find the solution. We find all basic solutions. Among them we find the feasible solution, and from the feasible solution we find the required maximum or minimum. That is our last answer. Now you can verify this graphically. How we verify graphically? We plot the graph. Now you know the plotting graph, so I will not do all the details. See graphically. If you consider the first equation, see, if you consider the first equation, that is x1 plus 3x2 is less than or equal to 6. So what are the points for this equation? The equation is x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 6. So what are the points for this? Once we put x1 to be 0, if you put x1 0, 3x2 is equal to 6 because we are considering equality. 3x2 is equal to 6 means x2 is equal to 2. One point is 0, 2, and if you put x2 is equal to 0, we get x1 is equal to 6. The second point is 6, 0 for this. If you consider the second constraint, we have 3x1 plus 2x2 equal to 6. When you put x1 equal to 0, then 2x2 is 6. So x2 is equal to 3. When you put x2 is equal to 0, 3x1 is 6. So the point is 2, 0. So we have 4 points. A point is 0, 2. So I will label this up to, suppose I will take scale 2, 4, 6. Now see the first point. It is 0, 2, that is A point. Next point is 6, 0, that is B point. We get the line AB. Which region is required for this? Because if you put 0, 0 here, 0 is less than or equal to 6. Origin satisfies the inequality. So we want origin side region. So we require this region which is origin side region. The second point C and D. C is 0, 3. So wherever it is C. So this is the point C 0, 3 here. And the D point is 2, 0. Here D point. Draw the line CD. Which region is required again? If you put 0, 0, it is less than 6. So we again want origin side region. So we do arrow accordingly. Because x1, x2 are greater than or equal to 0, we require this one region. So which is feasible region? See, we show it by dark lines. So this is feasible region. I will shade this region to show that it is feasible. So this region is feasible region on graph. See the points O. This point is A point. Sorry, 0, 2, that is A point. So O, A. This point is D. I will label this as E. So O, A, E, D. This is feasible region. Feasible region is O, A, E, D. That is feasible region. We know that according to convex polygon theorem, only we have to find the value of Z at these 4 points O, A, E, D. See what is A point? 0, 2. So A point, I am writing the points here. A comes to be 0, 2. B comes to be 6 0, C comes to be 0 3, D comes to be 2 0. Now see the point E. What is E? E is intersection point of line AB and CD. So solve the two equations simultaneously, AB and CD. AB equation, that is first equation, x1 plus 3x2 is equal to 6 and 3x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6. We have already solved this equation here, x1 plus 3x2, and we get the point to be 6 by 7, 12 by 7. So what is E point? It is 6 by 7, 12 by 7. So E point is, O point is origin, that is this, and E point is 6 by 7, 12 by 7. So observe, we get all these corner points. Now see these solutions. You will get the idea how we get this solution, x1, x2, 0, 0. So which is the corresponding point on line? I will take here the point on line. I can show here the corresponding point on graph. Or I will show here to get the idea. See what I get. Graph, which is the corresponding point on graph. This point A 0 2, that is x1 0, x2 2. x1 0 and x2 2. See this point, x1 0, x2 2. So this point corresponds to A. 6 0. B point is 6 0. See this point, 6 0. So B point corresponds to this solution. 0 3. 0 3 is this one. So this point corresponds, this solution corresponds to C. 2 0. 2 0 is this one. So that is corresponds to D. 0 0, that is origin. This is origin and this is the point D. So observe that every solution, every basic solution on the graph is shown by corner point. So all the number of corner points is nothing but your number of solutions. So we have shown that these corner points gives you 6 basic solutions. Okay. Now see, we find the value of this objective function at these points graphically. So we have feasible region OAED, we find the value of Z at O, A, E and D only. Only at these 4 points. As this, here we have already found the value. See, at O, the value comes to be 0 at O. At A, the value comes to be 6. At E, the value comes to be 48 by 7. And at D point, the value comes to be 4. Observe that we don't get these 2 points, that is B and C. These B and C, if you see here, B and C corresponds to infeasible solutions. And hence, we see that the feasible region gives us feasible solution. But the corner points which do not represent the corner points of feasible region are giving us infeasible solution. So on graph, the infeasible solution are given by those corner points which do not represent the feasible region of the LPP. So we have studied the algebraic method to solve the graph. So this is, see that every solution corresponds to corner point, and those corner point which represent the feasible region gives us feasible solution, and those corner point which do not represent feasible region gives us infeasible solution. So by algebraic method also we get the same answer, and by graphical method also we get the same answer. So we verified both by both methods, that is algebraic method also and graphical method also, that maximum Z is equal to 48 by 7 at the points x1 6 by 7 and x2 12 by 7. We will see more example to get this algebraic method. So the next example, consider one more example to get the idea clear. Show algebraically that the following LPP has infeasible solutions. Maximize Z is equal to x1 plus x2 subject to constraints x1 plus 2x2 less than or is equal to 6, 2x1 plus x2 greater than or is equal to 16 and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. We want to show algebraically that the LPP has infeasible solutions. Infeasible means they do not satisfy all the constraints and non-negativity constraints simultaneously. So we firstly express this LPP in standard form. So express the LPP in standard form. Maximize Z is equal to x1 plus x2 subject to the constraints. x1 plus 2x2 because it is less than, add slack equal to 6. Because this is greater than, surplus, subtract the surplus, 2x1 plus x2 minus s2 equal to 16 and x1, x2, s1, s2 greater than or equal to 0, add with 0 s1 and 0 s2 in the objective. So this is standard form. Then what we do? We see number of equations and number of variables. Number of equation, n is equal to number of variables, that is 4. M, that is number of equations, is equal to 2. So we always put n minus m, that is 4 minus 2, that is 2 variables equal to 0. These variables are non-basic variables. And then we solve remaining m equations in m variables. How many total number of basic solutions? Equal to NCM equal to 4C2 equal to 6. So there are 6 solutions. So we find firstly those 6 solutions. So see the number of how we get those 6 solutions. We consider the table. Solution number. We are getting 6 solutions for them. Put n minus m variables equal to 0. These are non-basic variables and we are substituting to be equal to 0. We are putting 0 value for those non-basic variables. Then basic variables. Then remaining m equations in m variables. Solving this equation we get basic solution. And then we want to find whether it is feasible or infeasible. Feasible means all the values should be greater than or equal to 0 and infeasible means all values are not greater than or equal to 0. So consider the first. We are having 4 variables x1, x2, s1, s2 and we are substituting 2 variables equal to 0. Either x1, x2, x1, s1 or s1, s2. Then x2, s1 x2 s2, and then lastly s1 s2. So I am substituting x1 x2 x1 s1 x1 s2, then x2 s1 x2 s2, and lastly s1 s2. When you put these 0, which remains? Remains s1 and s2. Here remains x2 and s2. x2 s1. Here remains x1 s2. x1 s1, and here remains x1 x2. Now write down the remainder by substituting these zeros. Write down this equation whatever remains. By putting x1 x2 0, what remains? s1 is equal to 6 and minus s2 is equal to 16. Now see the second. By putting x1 s1 0 here, put x1 equal to 0 and s1 is equal to 0. We get 2x2 is equal to 6, and in this equation x1 is 0, so we get x2 minus s2 is equal to 16. Now put x1 and s2 0. x1 0, so remains 2x2 plus s1 is equal to 6, and x1 0, so remains x2 is equal to 16. Now see the next. Put x2 and s1 0. If you put x2 and s1 0, we get x1 is equal to 6, and if you put these values equal to 0, put x2 0, we get 2x1 minus s2 is equal to 16. Last, x2 s2. Put x2 0, so remains x1 plus s1 is equal to 6, x1 0 and x2 0 and s2 0, so we get 2x1 is equal to 16. Put s1 s2 0, we get x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6, and 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 16. Solving this, we get the corresponding basic solution. So see what is the first case. In the first case, we get x1 is equal to 6, x2 is equal to minus 16. So if you write down the values of x1, x2, s1, s2, what are the values? x1 0, x2 0, s1 6, x2 minus 16. See the second case. We have x1 0 because we are putting x1 0. By solving this, we get x2. 2x2 is 6, so x2 is equal to 3. We have s1 0 as assumed, and putting x2 is equal to 3, we get minus s2 is equal to 13. So s2 is equal to minus 13. Now next one, we are getting x1 0, x2 is equal to 16. Put x2 is equal to 16, we get 32, and 6 minus 32. So we get value of s1, 6 minus 32, that is minus 26, and the last value s2 0. x1 we get 6, x2 is 0, s1 is 0. Put x1 is equal to 6, we get 12. So we get, by putting this value, we get 12. Minus s2 is equal to 16 minus 12, that is 4. So s2 is equal to minus 4. Next one, we get x1 is equal to 8. 2x1 is equal to 16 gives x1 is equal to 8. x2 is 0. Put x1 is equal to 8. s1 is minus 2 and s2 is 0. And if you solve these two equations, x1 plus 2x2, x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6, and 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 16. I multiply this equation by 2 suppose. So we get 4x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 32. Solve the equation simultaneously. This will get cancelled. We get minus 3x1 is equal to minus 3x1 is equal to minus 26. So x1 comes to be 26 by 3. And put x1 is equal to 26 by 3. So what we have? x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6. x1 is 26 by 3. So 2x2 is 6 minus 26 by 3. Cancel 2 throughout. By dividing by 2, we get this to be 3 and this to be 13. 9 minus 13, that is minus 4 by 3. So x2 is minus 4 by 3. So the answer comes to be 26 by 3 minus 4 by 3, 0, 0. Observe that all these basic solutions has negative values, means that all solutions are infeasible, because for feasible what we require all values of the variable to be greater than or equal to 0. Here at least one value is negative, implies that all solutions are infeasible. Therefore, if you see graphically, you will get that there is no common region, that is no feasible region. So obviously all the solution comes to be infeasible solutions. Why they are infeasible? Every solution contains negative value of the variable, means that that solution is infeasible solution. If you draw the graph, you will get the idea. See here, I will draw the graph for this. You will get, see the first equation. I have x1 plus 2x2. x1 plus 2x2 is equal to 6. When you put x1 0, we get x2 3. When you put x2 0, we get x. So these are the first 2 points. If you say second equation, we have 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 16. When you put x1 0, x2 is 16. When x2 is 0, x1 is 8. So these are the next 2 points. You have to go up to 16. So I will take the scale. And I will take simple scale. Suppose 4. Now see, the first point is 0, 3. The first point is 0, 3 and 6, 0. This is first line AB. And which region? If you put origin, that is 0, 0, it gets satisfied. So I want origin side. So we would require this region. See the second. We have the point 0, 16, that is this point, and 8, 0, that is this point. So we get this line as the second line. We get above region because this is greater than 16, 0 do not satisfy. Therefore, we don't want origin side, so we require this region. And x1, x2 greater than or equal to 0 means this one. So observe that there is no feasible region. This region is below, this region is above. So no region shows all the boundaries of the equations, implies that there is no feasible region. There is no feasible region or no common region which satisfy all the constraints simultaneously, means that this LPP has infeasible solution. So you can check graphically also that there is no feasible region. So the problem has infeasible solution. So today we have seen the algebraic method to solve LPP. What we have to do? We have to express the LPP in standard form, put n minus m non-basic variables equal to 0 and solve the remaining m equations in m variables. We get basic solutions. Total basic solutions are NCM. Among those solutions, if all the variables have non-negative values, that solution is feasible. Otherwise, the solution is infeasible. And among all the feasible values, I will find the optimum value, that will be the optimal basic feasible solution of LPP. Enough for the day. Thank you.